Hello everyone. As we all know, the morale for Xbox and Microsoft is on an all-time low in recent months, and the broken state of Redfall on release made the matters even worse. Phil Spencer's recent interview on Kinda Funny was not also very encouraging for the gamers. In the interview, Phil said that he doesn't think that making good games can bring back the gamers to Xbox. While the statement was very controversial, I tend to think that it is correct in some sense. Sony is in a great position in terms of churning out good AAA games every quarter or so. If Microsoft wants to compete with that quality and speed and try to win the gamers by the traditional way, it will take them years if not more. The best way for Microsoft and Xbox to compete is by Game Pass. Game Pass used to be the distinguishing factor for Xbox till recently, until Sony revamped its own PS Plus service and put it in direct competition with Game Pass. At the current state, PS Plus is a very good value proposition and is in line, if not more than Game Pass. What Xbox has to do in order to win the gamers is to go back to making Game Pass its core strength and a distinguishing factor. Xbox can do these 4 things in order to do just that. 1. Put a high-rated AAA game on Game Pass every month. In recent months, Microsoft didn't put many AAA games on the service, only Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Soul Hackers 2. And I am not talking about day in day out games, which I will talk in the next point, but the point is, if Xbox can put a high-rated 6 months to 1-year-old AAA game on Game Pass every month to Game Pass, then the service will be back in talks and it will be a huge plus for Microsoft. Games such as Elden Ring, Sifu, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Dying Light 2 fits perfectly as additions to Game Pass at current date. 2. Put a third-party AAA games day one on release on Game Pass every quarter. People noticed when Xbox put games like Wolong, Fallen Dynasty, Persona 3 and 4, Monster Hunter Rise on Game Pass day one on release. Why not do this for games like Dead Space Remake and Resident Evil 4? Make those deals with third-party publishers to launch AAA games like these directly on Game Pass day one. This will be a huge incentive for gamers to buy Xbox Series consoles and immediately jump on Game Pass. 3. Focus on backwards compatibility. The FPS boost and resolution boost programs at Microsoft and Xbox started with a bang with over 70 games, but Xbox didn't continue the drive and no new games have received FPS or resolution boost in the last year or so. Microsoft needs to realize that the Xbox 360 and OG Xbox era games are one of the distinguishing factors that Xbox has over PlayStation, as the Sony's backwards compatibility is lackluster. Whereas for Xbox, gamers can play any backwards compatible title from the Xbox 360 and OG Xbox era on the series consoles. Xbox need to concentrate back on its backwards compatibility program and put those games on Game Pass. The gamers would love to will pick up and play these games. 4. Have more Xbox exclusive third-party games. Sony have less studios than Microsoft, but Sony cruns out one AAA exclusive title every quarter or so, and Microsoft is unable to do so. Sony does this by entering into exclusive game development and exclusivity agreements with major third-party publishers. Games such as Final Fantasy XVI, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Forspoken, Godfall, Death Stranding, etc. help to fill up the exclusivity gap for Sony. Microsoft needs to get those third-party exclusives deals to release an exclusive every quarter or even earlier directly to Game Pass. This will ensure Game Pass remains a premier service and the promise that Microsoft makes for steady stream of day one games is kept. These were the 4 actions that Microsoft needs to take now. If they do these, I am sure Microsoft can be at the #1 spot once again.